Hey guys! So this is going to be a very, as you can tell, very relaxed, chill, just brief update. I know in one of the last videos, I think maybe the last video I posted, I said that one of my goals for 2018 was to post a video every week, and I was going to keep myself pretty accountable to that goal. January didn't really turn out to be as I expected it to be. It's been quite a difficult month so far, but I'm determined to not let this month define my attitude towards the entire year. And I think 2018 is still going to be a great year. Just the start of it turned out to be a little bit more difficult than I had expected. It's just a little life update. I kind of disappeared from posting anything on my blog or doing any YouTube video. Somebody who is very near and dear to me passed away last week, and it was a lot more difficult than I expected it to be, and I don't mean to make that sound like I knew it wasn't going to be hard at all. I thought I had prepared myself. I thought I knew what was coming. Death is death. It sucks no matter how much you think you prepare yourself. So it was much harder than I thought it was going to be. I spent a lot of the past 5 days or so away from the house, just here and there, trying to distract myself as much as I could and being around people who were just kind of feeling the loss, feeling the grief and mourning a great man, and mourning the loss of a great man. And that was that. So I haven't even thought about any videos. I haven't thought about writing, but I am kind of getting back into my routine. Did 3 loads of laundry and actually ate a couple meals. So I thought I would jump on here and say I am not lost, and I am still planning on making this, oh my gosh, my hair. Making YouTube a priority for me in 2018 and focusing on mental health. The reason why I did want to come on here and do an update was because something very weird has happened in the past 10 days when it's come to anxiety and depression and all these things. And this might sound a little bit weird because, to some people who don't believe in God or have faith, typically I have a lot of anxiety. Shocking. I have said that 3,000 times on different mediums in different ways, but typically, more often than not, I have a lot of anxiety, and it feels like it's usually out of my control. And some of you may know that I have the most anxiety when I'm driving. And it wasn't really an awful car accident. I didn't have some crazy trigger that made me be super, super incredibly anxious when I get behind the wheel. But when I was living out west, I was just driving home one day. I remember it so clearly. I dropped my husband, now husband, he was my fiance at the time, or were we just dating? I can't remember. Anyway, I dropped him off at work. We were going to college in San Diego where he worked. It was an incredibly busy area. I was stopped at a light in the left turn lane. It was very busy, a lot of traffic. I was next to a dealership, and I had a massive panic attack. Oh my gosh, like massive. I remember I almost called in sick to work because I felt like I couldn't do anything except lie down. I remember I stayed on the road and successfully got to work after dropping my husband off at work, but I was like my body was just so beat. I was shaking as I went up the stairs, and it was an awful panic attack. And I've had more than one panic attack in the car. And because of that, I had a tendency when I first had my kids to avoid driving. I got very, very frightened to get in the car and drive anywhere, especially by myself. So I didn't do it for quite a long time. But over the past, and I've gotten a lot better since I've gotten on medicine and have done therapy and have learned so many different coping mechanisms for anxiety. I've gotten a lot better. I'm able to drive, but usually not without a little bit of anxiety. I typically have a little bit, regardless of the situation, regardless of what I'm on or what I'm doing. I still get a little anxious just getting in the car. But the past 5, 6, 7 days, I've been very at peace in the car. Driving and being out and has been very just peaceful for me. I haven't had any anxiety in the car whatsoever, and it's been incredibly refreshing. I actually have Gramps is the man who passed away. I'm not related to him. He's not my biological grandfather, but he was very much a very big part of my life. Someone who I credit immensely for any sort of success or happiness I've found in the last 5, 8 years, and his loss was hit hard. I have his car, and his car is the car I've been driving lately. It's the car that my family's been driving, and I've just been at an incredible amount of peace in the car. And if you're Catholic or if you have faith, I don't think you would find that very surprising. I feel like I've been, praying and talking to him nonstop for the past few days, and it just feels like he's looking out for me, like genuinely in a very tangible way that I feel. Again, if you're not Catholic, don't have faith, this might sound completely loony to you, but it is what it is. So that's been lovely and wonderful and just so comforting in that realm, the anxiety realm. However, something else that I've noticed is part of sharing mental health and mental struggles and tips on how to deal with anxiety and depression and your experiences and how to overcome these things is you have to be pretty open and vulnerable, I guess, in some ways. And I have been pretty open about many things. Postpartum depression. I'm still kind of tired. Postpartum depression is probably the thing I've been most open about. But there are significant parts of my life that I've kept incredibly private and I haven't spoken a word of, haven't shared. And it's because it involves more than just me, and it's not something that I feel is appropriate to share because it involves more than just me. It's not just my story, and I've kept it private. But problem is that these things, these traumas, these events have significantly contributed to any sort of mental health struggle that I've had. Gramps, as I call him, is someone who helped me significantly in kind of overcoming some trauma and overcoming some pain and grief of my own. And I've noticed that since he's died, I've almost like regressed in where I thought I was in dealing and coping with these various things in my life. And that's been rather unsettling and a little disturbing. So I'm actually at a bit of a crossroads, it feels like, when it comes to trying to find or trying to think about what I should do, if I should schedule an appointment with the psychologist I was seeing. I feel like the psychologist I was seeing is so good for anxiety and depression and I think talking out concrete ways to overcome it and fight it. I'm not convinced that the psychologist I was seeing is the best pick for going over and in overcoming trauma. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. That's certainly been the the most jarring thing that I've experienced since I did a video is realizing that there's some stuff that is still there that I need to figure out and work through and be at peace with. I think one of the more challenging things about mental health is that some people don't really realize how delicate mental health is. If you've experienced any sort of trauma in your life or abuse or anything like that, how you were raised in this world and all your life experiences when you were younger formed you into the person that you went into the world as. It's just something that you have to work through. It's something that you have got to work through. It's not something that you can suppress and ignore and just keep living and thinking, oh, I've got my life together, it's all good now. No, it does not work that way. It will always come back and, bubble to the surface and form how you raise your family. And it's an ugly, ugly thing if it's not taken care of. That is kind of something that I'm struggling with, because I'm a little bit angry at the fact that this is happening right now. Kind of like really, I don't want to have to deal with this. I thought that I was okay in that area. I thought that, things had been settled and I had, found a level of peace and achieved forgiveness and all these things. But it turns out that might not be the case totally. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. I don't really want to do this whole search of a psychologist right now. I don't even think I posted this video. I sat down and did an informal vlog type video, and I don't think I ended up posting it, but I said in that video that one of my ways I was gonna approach mental health in 2018 was to just take it easy. I injured my knee doing a workout that I was doing because it was gonna benefit my mind. I wasn't gonna sit down and make this rigorous, crazy workout plan, and I wasn't gonna, force myself to get into a psychologist or a therapist right away, because it feels like I've been tackling and fighting anxiety and depression head on and actively and hard for the past 4 years. And it just felt like, okay, I'm going to take it easy this year. I'm just going to breathe. I'm going to do the exercise that I want, that I feel like that comes naturally, that maybe is better for my knee. And, just do things that I know will benefit my mind on a very kind of superficial level, like be around people and pray and do spiritual journaling and, take time for myself, and all of that is good and all of that will help me. But these, things happen. I think that is not going to be the same thing, same plan. I'm going to have to figure out what to do and get into a therapist or psychologist that specializes in abuse, trauma. I don't know. It's something like that. Who's more qualified to kind of dig up past stuff more than tell me how you're feeling today sort of thing. We'll see. But I wanted to get on here and just say I'm still here. I'm still doing videos, YouTube, and mental health, especially. If anything, I'm just becoming more passionate about it. Is still going to be a big focus for me in 2018. January threw me off a little bit. Stay tuned for updates, content, all of the wonderful things, and I hope you guys are having a great January. I hope you guys had a great start to 2018, and I will see you soon.